And hello, everyone. We are live. Just give me a few minutes here to mute my screen. This is another episode of Real Talk. I don't know what number I'm on, but eventually I'll get that all situated. I think I've had several under my belt now. But this is a Real Talk with Angel Muniz. Hello, Angel.
Hey, Kathy, glad to be here.
Yeah, I'm really happy you are here too. We've had this one scheduled at least 3 weeks ago, I believe.
Yeah, we scheduled this about 3 weeks ago, and it's a great topic of conversation, specifically what's been going on with here on YouTube. And glad I could join and talk with you and just have a discussion about what is at hand.
Yeah, you look awfully handsome today.
Thank you. I dressed for this occasion, and the doctor even came to my door.
Got that Dr. Pepper. I'm having one too. Angel and I have that in common.
But for me, I prefer the regular Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I like the less sugar, but I guess the chemical in it's probably not any good for you either. We have a few of us have joined us. Patsy Houlihan says hi. I'm not sure if they're still here. I see these chats were earlier. And Casey Detox Diva says hello, Kathy. If I can't make it back, blessings and love. Well, I do hope you are able to come back, Michelle, if not on the replay. I know that Angel and I both have some stories to share today about being disrespected and how we both handled it. Remy Moore is here. Hello, all. I got 2 notifications from YouTube. You must be doing something right, Kathy. Oh, that's good, Remy. Thanks for coming. And Trey's Creation is here. Hello. I'm
Hello
happy
to
you
everyone in the
found.
chat. Thank you all for coming. Hit that like button if you can and share this out on your social media. I already did myself prior to the stream, but hopefully you guys who are watching can do that as well.
Yeah, thank you, Angel. Thanks for that little promotion. So, Angel and I got together a few weeks ago to think about a topic to discuss today. And we both have had a season of disrespect. So we both want to share our stories and how we handled it. And we hope that we can inspire and encourage everyone out there who is here today or who may even be here on the replay.
And also, if you have any questions during the live about how to handle being disrespected or how to handle yourself without getting too emotionally attached, feel free to ask. And I could give the best advice that I can possibly give you of how you can handle it. Because I've handled myself in so many ways from my youth to my adult years. And I just think a lot of people might need to learn to take my advice and go with it and try their best to not get so emotionally attached. So if you want to get things going, go ahead and talk to them about what we're discussing today.
Yeah, and just make sure you tag us so that we can see. I
Yeah.
I do want to talk with Angel and give him my full attention today. So I will go back and forth in looking at the chat. So if I don't acknowledge you when you first come in, just make sure you tag and we will make sure that we get to your questions. Thank you for coming, Animated Adventures. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. Angel, for those who don't follow you on my channel, can you tell us first a little bit about yourself?
I'm a 29-year-old disabled adult who has autism, anxiety, bipolar, mood, seizure, just a few disorders that I have to mention there. And I also have a variety show channel that I do a lot of stuff with, and I just have had an awesome time. And one of the things about disabled people is they get disrespected more than the average person, and that's what we're discussing about is refusing to be disrespected. And I kind of feel as that, but I'm that way as well. But I handle it in the ways that some people might find surprising.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. I know that you're 29, so you've already lived a lot of your adult life, and you do live alone, correct?
I used to be in a group home facility, but at the age of 23 in 2013, I was given the option to have in-home service, where I could still have the assistance that I got back when I was at a group home, but have it be a shorter period of time and still have the help and coping capabilities to have them help me to go along with my years. And it's just been a great 6 years. And I also am now my own independent adult where I can make my own choices for myself. Because earlier this year on January 2nd, I was restored to capacity of having a guardian over me, and sometimes my guardian tried to control me.
Oh, wow. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, sure, because it's all about the topic at hand today. Because growing up, I've had so many people try to control me, try to dictate me, and one of the ways of being disrespected is someone trying to be the boss of you besides the job. Because if you are in a home with your family and you have people where they try to control you and such, and you're not up to it, no, or else I'll take this computer away from you. Uh, that can be very, very disrespecting and very threatening because they want you to do something that you're not up to do. And when you're an adult, you need to make that own choice for yourself. Like, let's say if I was still living with my parents and they told me to vacuum the entire home from top to bottom, would I be up for it? No, because it's my choice if I want to do it or not. And one of the ways of being disrespected is people dictating you. Because growing up, I had my parents always make me do the dishes. But that's part of growing up. But as I got more into my adult years, I never was able to make my own choices, make my own decisions. And there was even one time when I was still in the group home at the age of 23, and it was my turn to clean the kitchen. A roommate of mine poured a bag of cereal and said, "Clean it up, you freak." And I just felt so emotionally disrespected that I had to clean up something that they were taunting me to do, and just thinking that it's okay to make a mess and have me clean up while I was still doing that. So you need to learn to be in control of yourself, make your own choices, make your own decisions, and don't let people disrespect you just because you live with your parents still. And if the parents say no, and you're under my house, you're under my rules, well, then that should be a sign that it's your time to leave your parents' home and find your own place to live.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it is definitely as a parent. I mean, I've definitely said that too before. These are my rules. You need to abide by my rules. But you're right. That's it. That's when you realize that, okay, I think I'm ready to move on and live on under my own rules. I totally agree with you on that one. Wow. I can't believe that you were in your chore, your responsibility to clean up the kitchen, and someone had the audacity to just throw a bag of cereal all over the floor.
Because basically they opened
That's
the box and
horrible.
opened the bag and just poured it straight down on the kitchen floor, and I had to sweep it up under their own rug, or that term.
Wow. Yeah, that's just downright uncalled for.
Yeah, and I often felt that I was disrespected by my guardian because I never was given the opportunity to do much as I can do now.
So you said this just in January. You got this approved. What was the process that you had to do?
Basically, I had to go to my local court system, file a petition to have to be restored to capacity of me being my own guardian, and that process started back in May of last year. And I did not get appointed an attorney until August of last year, so I had about 2 months of wait time. And when I went back to the courts again in July to get an update, that's when things started to go uphill for me. And then I had my first court hearing in late of August. I had my second one in the mid of September, and then I had a fourth one in the mid of November, and my fifth and final one was in the beginning of January. And it was a long, tedious process, but I handled it. I may have felt frustrated a few times because it was taking longer than I expected, but I just let it time take its side and wait it out.
Right. I remember you said you were moving in the process too. Have you moved yet? Or are you
No,
still?
I'm still living because when I was restored to capacity, the first thing I did was go to Arizona to go see my family, and that what would have determined whether or not I want to stay in Minnesota or move to Arizona. And since I had such a great time, I decided to move down there. But I still need to get things done. Like I need to find a place to live at. I need to find a proper job or proper thing. I need to get a new ID when I go down there because I most likely will need to have an Arizona ID. So there's still a lot of stuff that I need to get done, but it's going to be a work in process.
Right. And what time, what month are you going to
I'm
be?
I'm kind of leaning towards the sometime in August or September.
Oh, okay. So
And it's
later,
going to be a long process,
early fall.
but if it but I just want to give myself enough time instead of like rushing it.
Yeah. Patsy Houlihan is here. Remy said that he's noticing there might be some technical difficulties with the Twitter. He's not seeing postings. So thanks for that information, Remy. Casey Detox came in and shared it. Thank you. She says, love you, Angel Burger. And
Thank you, my Casey Detox Burger.
Uncle Surf stopped by to say hi. Hello, Uncle Surf. And Patsy's living the dream.
Yeah, I love that living the dream with that you did with Studio Geek
I did
Patsy.
too. I did too. It's great tune. Great tune. I had it in my head for several days. Patsy said that Patsy noticed that Angel is looking spiffy. He said Angel is
Thank
looking
you.
spiffy.
And my pony is always living the dream with you, Patsy.
Oh, very good. Very good. So, okay, so you're getting ready to move early in the fall and you already are independent. You went through all that process. Can you tell us? Oh, Gemma's here. Hello,
Hey,
Gemma.
Gemma, God, you can make it.
I had a whole season of disrespect through volleyball this season, and I am very happy to say it has ended. But I had a handful of parents that were very disrespectful to me as a coach. So I understand what it's like to be disrespected, but you're right. We don't have to accept it, we don't have to tolerate it. Um, I had to deal with it. I had to be there with those parents every week at practices and at tournament plays, but it's difficult to be disrespected. It's not. It
Yeah.
doesn't feel good, does it?
It doesn't feel good at all, but one thing about refusing to be disrespected, besides learning to control yourself from people who are trying to control you, is also defending yourself. And I'm not talking about defending yourself by going take talking back to people such or shielding yourself from them and such. What I'm talking about is their words. Because imagine if you were to get up and shout back at the parents at the volleyball games, that would just make things even more worse. So what you need to do
Exactly.
is shield yourself from their words and defend yourself and just not take what they say too seriously. Because I know Gemma has gone through some stuff here on YouTube, and here on YouTube, there's a lot of disrespect that's been going on lately. But YouTube is online, and what you need to do is defend yourself from what people say. And another another way to do so is just not the listening or looking what they say. Because I know that Gemma was disrespected recently on a few streams. If she talked to you about that, you're probably well aware.
Oh
And
yeah, most
and
definitely.
and I'm not going to get too much detailed into it, but if Gemma was watching the stream and was just like dodge the words that they were saying about her and such, she would have just been fine going from there. Because oftentimes when you dodge back with more words, it'll just create the situation even worse. And you need to learn to dodge yourself from what they say by ignoring them.
Right, exactly. I've had conversations with Gemma about this, being a thermostat versus a thermometer. So you have
Yeah.
to, and I like what Uncle Surf says. If you don't know me, you can't disrespect me. If you do know me, you know better than to disrespect me.
I love that.
Exactly. Yeah, but no, I had parents be disrespect me, and then that athlete also learned from that parent, so they're very disrespectful as well. So I've had to definitely not take on their energy. I've had to be very in control with my own emotions and remain calm and listen, and then just say thank you for your feedback and move on. you know.
And more often than not, I consider what people said about me as a form of like good criticism, because it just makes you realize what you need to do to change yourself and such. But if someone were to like disrespect you all because of the kind of content they have in your channel, well, that's not their channel; it's yours.
Right. You want to tell us an example of some things that have gone on this year? First, let me say hello to Patty. Thank you for coming, Patty. Michelle Casey Detox Diva also says, I have issues and I get disrespected on different streams. So I stopped going to them. So I stay in a very small network of people.
But you're more than welcome to my stream anytime. There, my delicious bacon Casey detox burger. I have loved you from the very beginning that I met you.
View This says he's listening while driving and he has reached his destination, but he's proud of all the steps that you've taken in your life. Outgoing attitude is infectious as well.
Thank you.
Animated Adventure says, Angel, thumbs up, love you, bud. Enjoy your independence. Yes, emotionally detach from disrespect. Pay them no mind.
Yep, that's exactly what I was getting to.
Yeah. Why don't you run us through an example? Tell us
Well, one
where you're
example
sharing.
that I got through myself is about 2 months ago. I was disrespected by the people that Gemma have been having issues with as of lately, because I was memed, I was mocked. They depicted me as a KKK member in a Ku Klux Klan parade, and I just felt very disrespected. And then the disrespect continued on when I was on the person's stream one time, and I became so emotional and angered that I let it all out, and I screamed and yelled. But the only reason why is because they were kept on taunting me. They kept on disrespecting me. And sometimes when so much disrespect continues to go on for so long, for such a long period of time, when they have no intention of stopping, you can't help but let your full anger out because it all builds up. And that's what happened to me. But in the end, I just like came to my senses. And you know what? Well, I talked to them to see what can be done. And so I talked to these people, and we came to an agreement, and things have been going well. But I just felt very disrespected, being mean, being mocked, being criticized, and being ridiculed, because everyone knows what the KKK represents, right?
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
I'm not going to say it.
No, that's okay. You don't have to. I mean, most people know what that means. But,
Yep.
I'm really sorry that they got to you and you did lose control. I mean, we are only human. You're right, though. But I love to hear that you said you came to your senses and you were able to contain your emotions.
Yeah, because oftentimes you can help but build everything up, thinking that you know what I wonder I'll just move forward, and then the next time around when you come back in, it continues, and after for so long such that emotion builds up, and you can't help but the defense or attack back at them.
That's right. You have to really learn to step away and recognize when
Yeah.
when you're not going to come to a conclusion or an agreement. It's okay to discuss things. That's the difference. It's okay to discuss two different opinions, but when you know that you're not going to change the one or the other, then it doesn't give God glory to even have that discussion anymore. Then it just becomes an argument, and that's when one has to be the one to be able to walk away.
Yeah, and Gemma, I wish you were here when the stream began, because I gave some advice about people trying to because another way of being disrespected is people try to control you, because I know oftentimes people try to control you, Gemma, but you need to learn to make your own choices and be in control of your own self, because I was giving a few examples of how people try to control me over my years and such, and I was even giving an example about one time when I was in a group home and someone disrespected me by pouring a bag of cereal, all because it was my responsibility to clean the kitchen because it was my turn. So if anyone tries to disrespect you, who are trying to control you, Gemma, you need to learn to step up and control yourself. And because I know you still live with your parents, but if there's anything that you are not up for or anything that you don't want to do, you need to learn to be in control of your own self.
Yeah, everyone does need to learn that. And I do believe that Gemma has learned that. I think she's become much stronger. And I I think that Gemma lives independently as well. I don't think she lives with
Yeah,
parents. She can correct.
yeah. But I know that oftentimes
But
she
you're right.
has a
Everyone needs to learn this. And it's such a blessing when we all as adults finally do learn this. And you have to learn it as a child. You have to be taught it.
yeah, when you're in your youth, that's one area that you will be controlled in, but it's a learning process for when you're in your young, kid to teenage years, leading up to your adulthood. Because when you're a kid, of course you'll be with your parents and they will be in control of you, but it's a learning experience to get the skills, coping exercise that you need to make the choices for yourself. And when it comes to your adulthood and such, and people still try to control you, that's where you need to step up and be in control of yourself and make your own choices without anyone dictating you.
Right. Yeah. Gemma says that I love what she says. She's broken chains of negativity. I personally, I spent from August until last weekend with some parents and children that were very disrespectful. The children were learning from the grown-ups, that it's okay to disrespect people.
Yeah.
And you will be disrespected in your life, but you don't have to tolerate it. And I think that's what's great about being able to discuss this topic. Um, I had to experience a lot of disrespect through these volleyball parents. And the children, it's sad because the children witness it from their own parents and then they end up becoming those kinds of adults. And that's what's so sad for me to be able to witness when a child is being grown up by a disrespected parent.
Yeah. And then you were like mentioning just now about you will be disrespected. Yeah, you will see a lot of disrespect here on YouTube and such. Because when I posted your stream on my community tab, someone made a comment said, "Shut up, you prick." That was very disrespectful. But did I like respond back? Nah, I just went ahead and hide that person's comment from my channel because for me I don't respond to people like that anymore. I just simply hide them, remove the comment, or
Yeah,
just move there because you will be disrespected, but you need to learn to get that person out of your hair as soon as you can.
yeah, I definitely believe that as well. I've gotten lots of hateful text this past week myself from these parents. And it just makes me sad to read the words that they send me. But you're right, I did the same thing, Angel. Just deleted, poof, gone, move on.
Yep.
You don't want to try to make amends with toxic people.
Nope.
Sometimes you just recognize the toxicity and you leave.
Yeah, because you'll recognize the toxicity the more it occurs, but the toxicity is kind of like a cure formula for a cold. Where if you take the proper medicine and imagine if the toxicity is your cold, you take the medicine to cure it, and one way of like getting rid of the toxicity is staying away from it.
Wow, that was a great analogy. Good job. That was great. Where'd you come up with that one, Angel?
For me, I just learn things as I go along, and to stay away from a toxicity is like trying to stay away from a cold or a flu.
Yeah, such good analogy. I love it. Yeah, does anybody have any questions for Angel or
Does
I?
anyone have any questions for me, like what else I've experienced and such? Because I'm pretty sure you don't have that many questions. Do you, Kathy?
No, I don't have questions, but I definitely love hearing and sharing different stories and about how we handled things. Gemma
Yeah.
says, Mom, can we have a chat soon? Yes, Gemma, most definitely. Viewed this. Side note, Miss Kathy, when you have a chance later, I tagged you on a post on Twitter that I think you will enjoy. Okay, I will definitely check that out. Viewed this. Thank you for letting me know. Animated adventures. I've spent many years going to the angry towards people's views and criticism towards me. It's energy that doesn't need exerted. I love today, even the criticism. Uh, I think I'm reading that. It's the way you typed it, I'm not quite understanding, but I think I get what you're saying, to just not take on the energy. I have always used that analogy of that thermostat and thermometer. So a thermometer reacts to a room's environment, right? It tells you what the temperature is, it reacts to it. And a thermostat sets the mood for the room. And I've used this with several times in my life in the last couple of years. And you have to decide, am I going to be a thermostat when I enter into the toxicity? Am I going to enter into a room and react to the anger, to the disrespect, or am I going to set it?
Gemma has a few questions. She asks, Angel, how do you always remain so positive even though you go through so much tough times? I know we have struggled, but I'm so proud of you. Well, the way I always stay positive is I always just focus on who my real people are who have helped me along the way, and I just stick with those people. I may go to other people's streams here and there, but for the most part, I just stick around with the people that I truly care about. And if there's ever like any form of the drama going on during the stream, I just back out of the stream, don't say anything in the chat, and just go to another person's stream or go back to binge watching a show that I'm watching on Netflix, Hulu,
Yeah,
etc.
find your happy place, right?
Yeah, you need to find your happy place, and you need to find what will cheer you up. And a lot of times, I just find my happy place on TV, on YouTube, or eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I have gone through so much tough times, like she said, in like the past 5 years. But for me, I just move on. It's kind of like a day. There may be a tough day, but there's always the next day, and you need to keep on going. And don't bring that stuff that happened the previous day into the next day.
Yeah, and it's hard because you do want to dwell on it. Even when you back away from it and you walk away, it still kind of consumes your thoughts. And it's hard. The only way that I have been able to get my thoughts out is, you're right, go do something else. Focus your mind on something else so that you can get it out of your head.
Yeah, because
Not good to dwell on it.
a few nights ago when there was when the night when the Gemma was being disrespected, I did not say anything because I just went ahead and just minded my thing. But I went ahead and just continued binge watching Shark Tank on Hulu.
Shark Tank, that's a great show. I love it. Angel, Gemma did want to know, she asked earlier, do you drive or
I
plan?
don't have a driver's license. I want to get one sometime down the road in my adult years, but I've always been taking the transportation system here in my area, like the bus.
Right. And I mean, no sense getting a license now until you move anyway. You'll have to get one in that city that you live in. So,
Yeah, and another way that I get around is I ride my bike, but I haven't been able to ride my bike during the winter months because when there's snow on the ground, it's kind of difficult to ride your bike because you'll have a higher chance of slipping and falling.
yeah.
Oh, and that's another analogy. But the refusing infected is like a boo boo on your arm, where you can heal it up and patch it up, and it'll be healed within a few days. But imagine if the disrespect is on your owie, you can heal it up by rubbing it with some medicine and then moving from there.
With what medicine?
Shh.
Medicine.
Basically, the shush medicine is me saying is like saying no. I'm not going to say a word edgewise in this drama. I'm just going to focus on something else because if you because like I said, if you start to say stuff, but if you were to defend yourself, it'll just make the situation a lot more worse. And one ways of not making it worse is by not saying anything.
That's right. Yep. Close it up. Walk away. You're so
Yep.
charming. Good advice, Angel. Way to go. Patty says, agrees with me. Angel is spot on.
Thank you, Patty.
That's awesome. I love that. Patty says, when I learn to stay in the moment and not think ahead or behind and keep myself happy with the things I do in my moments, set boundaries also can make one's day so wonderful. Boundaries is a great book. Cloud is the author. I can't remember the first name, but it's written by a Cloud. But Boundaries saved me a few years ago, the book of Boundaries, and knowing how it is okay to say no. It is okay to stick up for yourself and say, no, I don't have to do that. I don't have to take this. I wonder if I have that book over here. I think it's in my closet. It is. It's in my closet. But yes, Henry Cloud. Thank you, Patty. Oh, that would have driven me nuts for a few minutes there. Henry Cloud is the author of Boundaries. Great book. Great book.
Yeah, I love what Patty said there.
Yeah. And I was on a stream. I can't remember where I was listening to it, but I heard someone, I think it was MJ Rock on Joker's stream the other night. He made the comment about being in a discussion with someone when you don't agree, and you can take the insights, you can keep your mind open and accept and the feedback, but you get to decide if you're going to do what the other person is telling you, or take the feedback or not take the feedback. You can say,
Yeah, because feedback is basically like suggestions of what to change. Because imagine if I were to give feedback to a motion picture studio about a TV show that I the thought didn't have enough of, I could send my feedback, but it would be up to the studio if they want to make the adjustments of adding some new characters and such. And believe it or not, I had some people give me feedback that tried telling me to delete one of my videos on my channel because about 10 days ago I uploaded a video titled this is what can happen to you if you get drunk, if you remember that video, if you saw it.
yeah,
And a few people tried giving me feedback telling me to remove the video and such, and I just kind of felt as though they were trying to tell me what to do with my channel, and that kind of felt disrespectful for me because it's not their channel of to tell me what to remove or keep on. It's my channel, and in the end, if I want to remove that video, I can do so. But that video was sole purpose for a public service announcement to let people aware of the dangers of drinking alcohol if you drink too much.
right. So what you did though is you probably came back with a respectable response. You received the feedback, but you could have turned it around by going back disrespectfully and say, I don't care what you think. Or you could say, I really appreciate your feedback. Thank you very much. And then still get to make the choice yourself. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah,
you have to realize that it is okay to give feedback. I mean, sometimes it's for a concern, or if it's we care about the person. You don't have to, you shut up, you don't have to tell me what to do. That's being disrespectful when you react to feedback that you don't want. You
yeah,
have to
yeah.
say thank you for
Cause
your
like what I was
feedback.
talking about earlier, if you were to like dodge back and such, that would be that would be a very disrespectful way saying shut up, don't tell me what to mother up and do. This is not your blanking channel. This is my blanking channel.
Right, yeah. And I had that this past weekend with volleyball. I have 10 players and I can only play 6 of them on a court, and I've had parents that were just so rude and disrespectful about not playing their child, as much as they wanted me to play them. And when I go to talk with them, I've had parents get so mean and in my face, and their energy, and they're yelling at me and saying I'm a horrible person. And you have to you just want to say, well, I'm really sorry you feel that way, and then walk away. And that's kind of what I did. I just said, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. I had a woman tell me that she hopes that my daughter will never be treated the way I treated her daughter. And I had to take a breath, and because I treated the daughter very kindly and encouraging and inspiring through the entire season. But I did take a lot of heat and disrespect from this person and that child. And so I said in return, I hope that your daughter realizes how encouraging I have been to her, even through her disrespect to me. And then I walked away, because you have to really think about, are you going to accept them hating on you, Are you going to accept it? Or are you going to go back and just lead by example and show them, look, I don't have to take on your energy. I know that I treated you well. I know that, and when you didn't, you can say you're sorry. If you did get overheated, or if your emotions do get the best of you, you can apologize and mend the relationship. But sometimes you have to realize that this person is toxic. This is a person that I will never get through. And you have to know for yourself, you did the right thing. You did okay. So you keep your head up high and you walk away knowing that you were encouraging.
Yeah, and by the way, let me read what Gemma said if she's still in here.
Sure.
Gemma says, Miss Kathy Mom, I think you and Angel are doing an amazing job in this interview. Does Angel agree with me that people with disabilities are more easily disrespected? Yes, I agree with you. And it's not just disabled people, it's any person that is different in general. Because I was watching prior to the stream a movie called Sausage Party, and there was a hot dog in the movie that was a bit shorter than the average hot dog, and then some of the taller hot dogs was calling him short fry, calling him so all kind of names, and being disrespectful to that character in the movie, all because he's different. And that's the thing: people who are different are more easily disrespected than the average American. And I was disrespected in my younger years. Besides besides the dude pouring a bag of cereal, I had people pushed my lunch tray out of my hands and go like oops. And I've had also some people just to go ahead and to pick on me because I was different. And that's the thing. Just because just because we're different doesn't mean we should be disrespected.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I agree with you and Angel as well, with Gemma as well.
Yeah.
Animated Adventures shares my coaching struggles. Yeah.
Yeah, oh, glad that you have something in common with Miss Kathy there, Animated Adventures.
Yeah. Coaching is great until you have to deal with the parents.
So yeah, people with disabilities or anyone who is different, like people who are gender fluid or people who are transgendered, are more easily disrespected than the average person because they think, ooh, he's disabled. Let's go pick on him. Let's pick on the innocent child.
Yeah, it is
and,
really
uh,
sad that there are such hatred individuals in the world. Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to deal with that.
That's okay, but I was just making a point that they think it's just they think it's funny to disrespect people who is disabled or someone who is different.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm sure that you had a lot of struggles with your speech too. That
Yeah, people call me names like Stuttering Stanley.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure that takes a long time to get over stuff like that.
Yeah, because I still have problems here and there, but as the year have over the years have progressed, I became more and more better with my speech, and I just need to work on my voice volume vocals.
Yeah, you're an amazing person, Angel. I'm really happy that I was able to connect with you. Hey, Andre in Pitt says hello. Left me a like. Thank you so much. Gemma says, Miss Kathy, I will message you later on. Hang us to schedule a chat. Yeah, I don't mind if Gemma wants to come up and share a story. Do you want to add?
Yeah, just send her on up. Cause I don't think that she has me unblocked from Twitter, or else I would send her the link myself.
Animated Adventures is responding to my thermostat. Yeah, set the mood. Don't
Yeah,
react
set
to
the
it.
mood.
Mm-hmm.
Cause
Yeah,
yeah,
thank you, Patty.
I want to hear the struggles that Gemma has because she is a autism person down in the UK, and there's not that very many UK people that have autism that are on YouTube here.
Yeah, I mean, as far as YouTube too, and live streams in general, if you see someone being disrespected, you can stand up for that person as well. You don't
Yeah,
have to tolerate it. You don't have to watch it happening either.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Gemma, just let me know in the chat if you would like a link, or I can send it to you actually, and you can.
I'm gonna take a swig of my pepper here.
Okay, I'm gonna copy my link here real quick.
Oh, okay. Let me send it to her on Hangouts. She just messaged me.
Oh, okay, I'm getting it to her right now, bud.
That's okay.
Will it work if you send it too, or do I have to send it?
I can send it to her because I'm pretty sure that it'll work either way.
I never know because sometimes when I was on streams with Patsy Houlihan, it's like one person sends the link and then the sound doesn't work for some reason. Just jinx it. I sent it to Gemma as well. I'm going to get my chat back now. Gemma says she's unblocked on Hangouts now.
Yeah.
Was she blocked before?
Well, actually, she blocked me on Hangouts.
Aw, you guys
But
have
we patched everything up and everything is all hunky dory again.
Oh, that's good. And I've said that before. Sometimes we have to realize maybe there was a heated moment between two individuals. I have another parent that I was very surprised that when the season ended, they disconnected with me altogether in a coaching chat and on Facebook. And we were good acquaintances, and I was surprised at that. And I thought to myself, do I want to try to make amends with this person? And sometimes we have to ask ourselves if we've become in a disagreement or a disrespectful environment. You have to realize, okay, is this person toxic? Have I witnessed too many things with this person? Do I really want to go back and make amends? Or is it important that I realize something must have happened and you can go back and have a talk? So whatever it was that you and Gemma, found, I'm glad to see that you two were able to work out whatever happened. Hi, Gemma.
Hey, Miss Kathy, Mom. Hey, Angel. How you doing?
Hey, Gemma.
It's a nice surprise to be able to have you join us on this topic. I know you have so much to share as well.
Yeah. Share us some of your stories of what you struggled through, Gemma.
Yeah. Yeah, I think disrespect is such a big topic because there's so many different forms of disrespect from what I've learned from Miss Kathy and other people here on YouTube, because you have like the physical disrespect of people making you feel small and worthless and everything else, and then you have the emotional disrespect of people calling you names. I know, Angel, you've been through some stuff. I've seen what you've been going through recently on the YouTube platform, and I see other people who mock other people. I'm like, why can't we just all get along? Like, the amount of times people with disabilities in general and people who are different get knocked down all the time, and I want people to be happy, and it should be a place where we can all connect. And like Miss Kathy says, it's the choice whether we choose to focus on it or not. And we are the thermometers of how we react to situations. Whereas in the past, I did react badly to it. I would fight my corner. I would get defensive. I would go after people. But now, recently with the recent troll episode that I had, I didn't react. I went in there. I was polite. I asked to be left alone. I walked out. I left. I didn't go back. And now,
I mean, you kind of have to judge the situation. You have to say, has this happened before? What did I do differently that I could do now? And if it does happen a second or third time, that's when you do have to realize, I do not belong with this group.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Completely disassociate myself with this group.
It's about choosing the positive people. And like Miss Kathy said to me and other people I've spoken to, like, Gemma, you need to make a choice. You need to make a choice whether you're going to let that person or persons affect you, or you can choose that you're the better person. You're the more happier person. You're secure in yourself. You know who you are. You know what you're doing on YouTube. So I've had to choose to go, that was a brief moment in my life where I was upset and angry, whereas now I'm focusing on being happy and being myself and doing my message that I want to do, rather than people going, well, you shouldn't do that, or maybe you should do this. It's about making that sensible choice and being appropriate, and we all have that decision.
Right. Like Patsy says, we have to expect poop heads. We are in a fallen world.
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny, Patsy.
Yeah, I mean, yes, of course, there are people out there that are toxic, and you know what? I say like attracts like. Some people like to be around that. It's entertaining for them. They get some kind of energy that makes them feel good, and more power to them. But if you find yourself in a situation where it doesn't feel good and you feel stressed or you feel run down after you've spent time in that type of a live stream, that's when you really have to step back and say to yourself, do I belong here? Is this good for me? Because there's so many other groups out there.
Yeah, it's about making that positive mindset and choosing whether we stay there or come out. I know Angel has done that recently, and I am really proud of you, Angel. You have come a long way from what people have done to you, and I think you've made that choice now to walk away and stay out of the situation, whereas before I've seen you go
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah, I made the choice to walk away and stay out of the situation. Sorry to interrupt you, but I've also made the choice to just distance myself from certain people in my life because one person that I don't associate with anymore is my dad because I just love my dad. I always have loved him from the day I was born, but I just don't feel that same love from him. I wish my dad would just show his support for me and just believe in me and know that I can make it out and make a difference in the world. But my dad doesn't care about me nor his other children because I'm not the only person in my family. I have two other brothers and one sister, and for a total of four. And he doesn't care about any of them. And he was very disrespectful the night that I came back to Minnesota on February 15th, where he just came very disrespectful, very how can I put it in a light way? I just couldn't take too much of my dad's BS, so I went ahead and just distanced myself from him, blocked him on my Facebook, blocked his cell phone number, and because if your parents cannot be there for you in support and believing in you, then what's the purpose of even having them?
Yeah, I mean, there are some people that just weren't meant to be parents, and it's hard to be a good parent, but you have to know how to love yourself. So I'm sorry that you had that type of relationship with your dad, but you said he doesn't care. I mean, he may not know how to care. You know, you can't
Yeah,
love
and so I just go with the people who I truly love and who loves me as well. Because my sister Shane loves me, my brother Donovan loves me, my brother Dallas loves me, my aunts and aunties and uncles down in Arizona love me. So I'm just gonna focus being closer to my family when I move to Arizona and just distance myself for my dad and anyone else who doesn't feel the same respect towards me.
Yeah, and forgiveness is a big key in the healing of that. I mean, you love yourself. You don't
Yeah.
sit here and say, I am dapper, I am cool, I am loved because you love yourself, you know? And then you have
I
to
am the
forgive
pepper
those.
and Gemma is my spice.
That's right. You have to forgive those who don't treat you that way. You just have to forgive them because they don't know how. They just don't know how to.
Exactly.
Hey, Creator Alliance is here. He says, hello, everyone.
Hey, how you doing,
Hey,
Hey,
Angel?
Joker.
same.
You.
That's so sweet. Patsy says it's true. We can't be wimpy and expect utopia. Casey Detox, letting go and letting God. And so I can pray to God and ask for forgiveness for anything I've done to that person to make them feel the way they feel. Also ask Him to allow me to forgive them. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength, Michelle. We were both talking about forgiveness before I even read that. Animated adventures as a father, this is the hardest situation to be in. We tend to show hard love, and it's extremely difficult when one has diagnosed disabilities. Sorry, mom and dad. Yeah, I mean, it's true. You know, you don't know the kind of stress that your father may have been facing all his life. Sometimes we don't know what our parents were like until we become adults. We don't think of our parents as children. We don't think of our parents past when they're raising us. Um, as parents, we try not to put that on our children. So, you know,
Yeah, talking to parents, I think parents have a really rough time with trying to help us grow up, and they're trying to raise us in a way of being polite and respectful. I think for me, it's more my mum I had the issue with, because my mum was very. She told me a couple of years ago that she blames herself for the way that I am now, and I said to her, I don't have no blame for my parents, but the only reason I have a slight grudge towards my mum is because she's the kind of parent that should be the one to say I love you and stuff like that, whereas my mum doesn't do that. She's not very empathetic or loving towards me and my sister, and I've always asked her, why won't you say you love me? And every time I get to that question, it's kind of like, well, we'll discuss that later. That's a topic that we're not going to bring up. And I'm like, but there's a simple explanation. There needs to be a simple reason. But yet now I've grown so over about it. I'm like, well, she's not going to say it. I'm not going to force it. But in my heart, I know she does love me. But to hear her say "I love you" would make my day. But I don't push it anymore because I know my mum has her reasons. So it's kind of that frosty relationship Angel has with his dad. I'm opposite. I have it with my mum. So I kind of have to learn to be respectful to her at the same time. I distance myself very much like Angel does with his dad. So I can sympathise with that, Angel. I know it's very, very hard, and it does get upsetting sometimes. So I can understand it.
Yeah, and one of the many reasons why I distance myself is because of his alcohol habit that he's had. Because alcohol can really be a big factor in a person's mood and such. And I just wish my dad would stop drinking and just focus more on loving his kids. But me and my other siblings tried telling him so many times that he doesn't listen. So now none of us even communicate with him.
yeah, the alcoholic is a demon that is very difficult to face and fight for many. Andre Pitts, I know how to tell time, and I know the time distance all across the U.S. and foreign countries. Great fact. Cool, Andre.
Well,
A little off topic, but very cool to know.
yeah. I think also, like, talking to this topic, disrespect can be so different for everybody. Like, I'm sure, like Miss Kathy was saying earlier about the situation she had with the baseball and things. I think a lot of people, we take people's tone so much to heart, and the way that we come across, how we react to it, can then affect our future mood. So if we're going to talk to someone, or we've had a bad day from someone disrespecting us, that disrespect then carries over to the next person. And especially with me, if I've been disrespected, I hold my hand up, I'm guilty. I'll go and rant to someone else about it and be like, this person was horrible to me. They shouted at me, they screamed at me, and I'll go and rant to someone else. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't do that. But at the time, I'm so frustrated and angry, I want to get it out so another person gets it. Whereas now I'm like, no, bad idea, bad move. I calm down, I keep it to myself, and then I know it's going to be a temporary situation rather than getting another person upset and them feeling my anger when it's not their fault.
Yeah,
So
yeah, it's hard to walk away from drama when it's happening to you, but
yeah,
it's so important to be aware and do it.
yeah,
I've lived around drama my whole life, and alcoholics as well. My in-laws are all addicts, and I've had a lot of disrespect. I talked a little bit about this in the bullying real talk that I had with Jess K, but I had a time where my sister-in-law, you know, you say your father doesn't care about you. I have a sister-in-law that struggled so much loving herself, and you could just see the envy and the green in her. My dog, hold on real quick, guys. I'm not gonna be able to tell the story with my dog. He needs out. Okay, let's go out. Sorry about that.
But yeah, you're right, and I agree with you, Gemma. The being disrespected can be for people in different ways. Like if someone is grocery shopping and such, and someone were to put a few things in your cart that you did not put in there and such, that could be a form of disrespect. Or like, let's say if I were to be at like, let's say a hockey arena and someone were to throw a puck at me, that would be a form of disrespect. It could be different for many
Somebody threw a puck
people.
at you. That's assault.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's going beyond disrespectful.
yeah,
But even the cereal pouring incident, that's just beyond disrespect.
yeah,
That's downright rude.
yeah.
How rude.
How rude!
I think also, I think what helps all of us deal with disrespect is our strategies. I know for me personally, I have strategies now to put in my way to stop myself reacting to it. So I have like my drawing, which I've been doing my drawing in my notebook. I have my colouring book. So if I feel upset or angry, instead of going to someone to vent about it, I'll sit here on my bed, get my colouring book out and my pencils, and sit here and colour until I feel better. So for me, it's a more peaceful outlay of going, okay, I've got too much in my head, I don't feel right, I'm going to go away from social media, go away from my computer, and I'll sit here on my bed and calm down that way, or my music. Because at least then I'm not taking it out on somebody else.
Yeah, I have to really sit back and thought when I got my hate text this weekend, a parent saying that they pray that their daughter that my daughter will never be treated the way I treated their daughter. I had to step back and say to myself, did I do something wrong? Do I need to make an apology? Do I need to try to amend this? And I had so much hate from this woman since August that I finally said to myself, no, you were very encouraging to that girl. You worked with that girl at practice. You wanted her to improve. You saw her improve in her abilities. Kathy, you didn't do anything wrong with that girl. And I said to myself, just delete and move on, because you start to take on shame. And that is what the enemy, as a Christian, I believe that Satan focuses on shame. They want us to be shameful. They want us to think we are low, that when someone's disrespecting us, it is our fault. And you have to be able to rebuild yourself up and recognize that that's not what it is. You gotta stand up for yourself, respect yourself, and be able to walk away and be able to love yourself and say, no, I'm doing the right thing. It's that person.
And one analogy about standing up for yourself is kind of like the old the 1960s Christmas movie that still plays there every year during the holidays. Is Santa Claus coming to town, and there's that song, "Put one foot in front of the other, soon you'll be walking across the floor. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out the door. And the door is your path to being in control of your own self. And you need to put your foot in front of the other and stand up for yourself and defend yourself, and just make sure that you know what you're doing, and just not have people walk over you and disrespect you like eggshells."
Exactly. I think that's the Baby New Year scene with the abominable snowman, isn't it? With Rudolph trying to save the Baby New Year or something.
Well, actually, it's the scene where the abominable snowman wants to change himself, but he's like, but it's so difficult to change. And then Santa was like, difficult, you say? Haha. Well, changing from bad to good is like easy as taking your first step.
You're a bright, sunshiny day, Angel. I love it. God the Good One, thank you very much. Every time I see God the Good One, I want to start talking in his British accent.
I love God the Good One.
It's a celebrity panel night. Remy Moore says, just remember that people's ideas and thoughts are theirs and should have no impact on your own feelings. Don't look at things with emotion and try to see the situation for what it is. He likes my story. Thanks, Remy. Yeah, very good way of writing that out. Good timing. Yeah, good stuff. All good stuff.
Yeah, and so yeah, I just have also have my own strategies, but because you, Gemma, you do coloring. For me, I just do things whether on my computer or my TV, because whenever I feel stressed out or disrespected, I just watch a TV show on Hulu or such. Because the show that I've been watching lately to get away from this drama is a preschool show that played on Playhouse Disney from 2005 to 2009. And I've been binge watching, believe it or not, as a 29-year-old, Little Einsteins.
Little Einsteins. Did you ever watch Blue's Clues? I like Blue's Clues.
I love Blue's Clues, and I love Blue's Clues as a young kid because I grew up in the 1990s, and Nick Jr. Was like one of the stations that my mom would always turn it to in the morning for me, and I always loved the lamb chops play along.
Lamb chops. Love lamb chops. Animated Adventures agrees. That is awesome.
So yeah, I just watch a TV show or just focus on
You
stuff
said
on
earlier,
my
you
computer.
find your happy place. That's
Yeah,
important.
find your happy place.
Don't go dwelling on your own shame. It's not going to get you anywhere.
Nah.
Yeah.
It's whether we choose to learn or not. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, if you're on a public live stream and like you said, you had an incident, Angel, earlier this year where you were yelling and you're intense and your emotions got the best of you. I mean, it's a shame that someone wasn't on there with you. I don't know what happened, but I mean, that's when you got to hit click and you got to get off.
Yeah.
You got to get off when you know your emotions are way too high. Hopefully you have someone with you or someone who is willing to give you a phone call or something and say, hey, step away. That's when you need your friends.
Yeah.
Really step in for you.
Yeah.
So you guys plan on not being on any more live streams where there's a lot of toxicity going on, huh?
No way.
No way. I'm limiting myself to my friends only.
Do I have permission to keep you both accountable for that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going back to any toxic streams. That is for sure. I've had enough of my fair share of negative people. No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it is sad that it is a form of entertainment in our world today, but if it's your entertainment, do it to where it's not an energy you're going to take on or act that way, with someone else. It is out there.
And another example, Gemma, is the way for of us people with disabilities are easily disrespected is the way they look at us. Because I have people like, nah, he's faking it. He doesn't really have a disability. He knows what he's doing, etc. Because I have had so many people think that I'm not disabled, that I'm just a regular human being, but they don't see me for what I fully truly am. And I've been called fake. I've been called an actor. I've been called even, believe it or not, a pedophile.
Well, you have to know that you're not.
Yeah, I know.
All that matters is that you know.
Yeah.
Angel, I'm gonna say to you, like we are normal to some degree. Don't get us wrong. We are normal to mostly everyday function, but the problem is with disabilities such as what you have, I have, people don't see that we're very good at putting on a normal front. Most of the time we can behave and function to a reasonable standard, but when you get overloaded with so much during the day and then you've got people judging you, hating you, sending you nasty comments, and that gets you after a time, then you just want to go, well, I'm going to rat back. I'm going to be rude back. I'm going to be horrible back to that person. That makes you just as bad as them. So it's the way we choose to fight back at people or react to it. So like Miss Kathy said, we can be that moment where we choose to go be abusive to people, or whether we come back and go, yes, they've been horrible, they've been toxic to us, but are we going to respond to it? Are we going to choose to walk away and just ignore it? So
boundary. Second chances are great. It's just the third ones you got to watch out for. How many times are you going to allow it to happen?
And I have to agree with you, what you just said, Gemma, because if I have responded back on my own channel of how they respect me, basically it would be equivalent of me fighting fire with fire. But I just decided to ignore it and defeat fire with water and just spray them out and walk from the situation. It's the coast is clear. So basically, I just put their fire out by ignoring them and just getting away from it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Stay confident in yourself. It's your journey.
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
Disrespect can also be not just the forms that we already talked about, but it's like with me, I feel sometimes I get manipulated by people. So disrespect can be a form of manipulation because someone can say to you, "Oh, well, I'm going to help you with this. I'll support you, but," and then there'll be a but involved. You have to do this, or you have to be on my channel all the time, or so. Again, that can be a mind game because people can then will not support you properly, or they'll only support you if you do something for them. So it's kind of that barrier of do you trust someone or not. So that's another problem that happens.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
and,
Very
uh,
good.
and, uh, another,
Yeah.
and another form and another form of disrespect and losing trust is breaking a promise, because keeping your promises is a huge step to trust and such. But when so many times promises made and that is not kept, that can be very disrespectful, because I've had so many people over my years make me so many promises that they've never kept. Because when I was in my youth, when I was in the group home, there was one time when my roommate asked if he could borrow $20 from me because he needed some form of money for, I can't remember because it was over a decade ago, and he promised that he would pay me back. Over 10 years later, never got my money back. And I've had some people as promise that they will let me on their next panel stream, but they never kept their promise when their next panel stream happened. And there has been times when I was promised that someone would make me a cool banner or icon for my channel. They never kept that promise neither, and I just feel disrespected because they never kept their promises made to me.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah, I can understand that too.
So, like Miss Cathy said, I think it's about being accountable as well. Like we have to stand up and be accountable to ourselves, and
Yeah,
maybe sometimes other people have to then challenge us to that, whether that's Miss Cathy or someone that you trust on social media or a family member off social media. And if you do make a mistake or you say something and you think, oh, should I have done that? Then you've got one person who will go, actually, no, we need to talk. You've said this or you've done this. So for me, it's important. I have several people on YouTube and I have a couple of family members who will correct me if I've done something like, Gemma, sit down, we need to talk. I'm like, now I'm in trouble because I know I've done something. So it's always good
Yeah.
to have that person.
Yeah, and on that note, it's good to do that, but not in the public forum or not in the chat. Like pull the person aside or send them a message privately, or if you guys do have phone numbers or you know, direct message contact, try to be able to have an accountability partner where they can, you know, help you and warn you or send you a message if they happen to see you online,
yeah,
you know, in a situation. And
Yeah,
find that security, find that support that is good and is
yeah.
the right energy that will keep you accountable.
yeah, definitely. I think that's the important thing that I've learned for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
You have a great day, Faith and the Fallen, aka Sister Samantha. It looks like
Faith
Samantha is
in the
headed out.
Fallon, I just saw you coming in. So good to see you. She's so encouraging as well. I love Faith.
Yeah. Have a good
Yeah,
day, Faith.
Well, guys, I do try to keep these at about an hour or so, and I'm a little bit over, but I thoroughly enjoyed having you both. I think you both are very inspiring, and I am so happy that you were able to come and share your stories. And I think that this was a great real talk.
Thank
no,
you.
no problem. Glad I was able to come on and just have this discussion.
Yeah, I think it is very important. You both hit on really good points too, and I think it's very helpful. Hopefully, it will help somebody else out there that will be watching or who is watching right now.
Yeah.
You
Thank
two
you for
are
having
both fantastic YouTubers. I'm so happy I was able to connect with you both. It's been a
I
blessing.
adore you, Miss Cathy. And Angel, I know we've had our issues, but I do adore you too. You do make me laugh. Some of your little quotes, I'm just like, that's brilliant. Where the hell do you get that from?
Yeah, it really
Oh,
has.
thank
I mean,
you.
I would almost want to timestamp some of those things that you came up with today, Angel.
go ahead. You can go ahead and timestamp some of the stuff that I came up with.
Yeah, I'm going to have to. When I go back and do the replay and I'll look through, I'm going to put that into the description. And Gemma, I will go ahead and add your link in the description as well. And
Brilliant.
thank you for
Thank
joining
you.
us up on the panel.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out both me and Gemma's channel if you can. If you're watching this replay, connect with both of us on social media and on YouTube here. And with that note, I'll let you bring the show to a halt.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye.